beautiful beings. It's a magical day. We're out in nature, soaking in the good energy. So, how to heal your anxiety? If you haven't checked out my video called Why I Always Say Anxiety is a Good Thing, you should check that out first. I talk a little bit about what anxiety is and where it comes from and the mechanisms behind it. So I would recommend to check that out first. But quickly to summarize, anxiety is emotional pain, right? And just like physical pain, it's just a signal trying to get our attention so that we can tend to our wounds and heal properly. So anxiety is just a signal, okay? So it only means that we have a wound that needs healing. And I think by realizing that anxiety is just a signal, it's easier to let go of the resistance, to let go of all the friction, and listen to the anxiety and listen to the feelings that approaches, and ask questions, be curious. What is the anxiety trying to tell me? So knowing that it is a signal I think that's an important step. The anxiety is not your problem. It's only a guidance towards healing your problem. And I see a lot of people getting stuck in their anxiety as they've had anxiety for years and doesn't seem to get any better. It's just constantly there. And not saying this is happening in all of the cases, but in some I've seen people who are aware of their anxiety and maybe aware of the reason why they have anxiety. They start pointing fingers, blaming others or blaming situations or even blaming parts of themselves, like having a separation within and blaming that other part. Like, I've always been like this and this is always who I've been, so that's why I have anxiety. And that's just a way to distance ourselves from our problem. And when we do this, when we blame others or situations, when we blame anything for our own suffering, we are basically giving the responsibility for our happiness to somebody else or a situation. When we blame something, it's kind of implied that they need to fix what they broke. Okay, so by pointing fingers, all you're doing is you're giving away your responsibility for your happiness. And as long as we give away this responsibility, when we're not responsible ourselves, we will never get better. And so people answer with anger, frustration, depression, because they are looking for healing, or they're looking for somebody else to heal their wounds. So a lot of times when people have anxiety for long periods of time without being able to heal their anxiety, it's often because they don't take responsibility themselves. Because it's important to understand that people don't give us anxiety. Anxiety is a result of how we choose to react to a situation. When we are unable to process our feelings properly, we suppress our feelings and a trauma is created. and this trauma is creating fears, and this fear is anxiety. And so it is the way we deal with the situations we're in. It's our way of reaction that creates anxiety. And so we cannot blame anything but ourselves. So it's important that we acknowledge this, that it is our own responsibility. And when we do so, when we truly understand, when we forgive everybody that we blame for our suffering, we forgive them and take the responsibility upon ourselves to heal, then can we start healing our anxiety. Although it's not the anxiety that needs healing, it's the wound. Anxiety is just guiding us there. So how do we actually do this? First, we know anxiety is only a signal. Then we know we are responsible for it. We forgive everybody we've blamed. We take full responsibility to heal. Then there's basically two ways. Either we face our fears. By doing so, we show ourselves that this fear is no longer serving a purpose. It was created to protect us from getting hurt again. But by facing our fears, we will see that the fear is no longer serving a purpose. It's called exposure therapy. And the second method is to connect with our true self. Our true self, or our higher self, is not affected by irrational fears. When we are connected with our true self, there is nothing to be afraid of. So by tuning into the present moment, by being out in nature, by expressing our true feelings, by being vulnerable, meditate, connect with what is perceiving all of our observation, what is perceiving our feelings, what is creating our thoughts, what is hearing our thoughts. Just dive deep into the source of who and what you are. And by doing so, the ego, which has created all these fears to protect us, will slowly fade away. And so by connecting with our true selves, all of our irrational fears will slowly fade away as well. So combining these two is really effective, and it's helped me a lot along my journey. I've suffered a lot from social anxiety myself, and yeah, by simply connecting with my true self and facing my fears little by little, I've come a long way. So I really suggest doing this for treating your anxiety, treating your wounds, connecting with your traumas, and let your anxiety heal you towards a better life, free from all these fears, our own mental imprisonment. So anxiety has the opportunity, or gives us the opportunity, guides us towards freedom. So treat your anxiety as a good friend, because it's there to help you. And I wish you all best of luck. Enjoy the ride. Stay safe, be free, and love. Namaste.